Hi, I'm Denice Gierach of the 𝐬𝐩𝐞𝐵 Law Firm. This is video 2 of our series talking about the sale of your business. In this video, we examine ways to maximize what you have and not leave money on the table when you're negotiating a sale, and the reasons why people do this. So how do sellers leave money on the table when they sell their business? One way that you might leave money on the table is that you, as a seller, are in too much of a hurry. So you don't spend the time that you need to find the right fit buyer. So you might accept an offer that is too low, as you are in too much of a hurry. Or the buyer that you find might be more attuned to buying your business than you in selling your business. What I mean by that is they know all of the nuances of business valuation and taxation and how that impacts each side of the transaction. And they make an offer that is most beneficial to themselves. Here are some examples of some taxation issues that might impact your bottom line as a seller. Number one, for instance, the buyer may allocate some of the payment for the business as an employment agreement to you, where you pay ordinary income tax on it when you receive the money versus capital gains treatment, which would be the case if it was allocated fully to the sale price. Another thing that can cost you tax dollars is the allocation of the purchase price among the assets that you may be selling. Some of this allocation may result in ordinary income to you versus capital gains. Just selling the assets of your business rather than selling the stock in your business can also change the taxation from capital gains to potentially some ordinary income to you as a seller. Another way that you might leave money on the table is that your financial statements are a mess. This might be as a result of including a lot of personal items in the financials, or that the categories are unclear or changing from year to year, making it difficult for a buyer to compare or their team to know what the income is that they could actually derive from your business. Other items on your financial statements might include contingent liabilities that are not reflected on your financial statements. These contingent liabilities exist but are not reflected on the books because they're contingent. Intercompany transactions and issues of transfer pricing that are confusing or not set out properly for a potential buyer to review. Another is a lack of backup information that would help define what you are making in gross margin per product. Accounts receivable that have a high percentage in the over 90-day category is a problem. This tells a buyer that you have allowed your customers to train you on what payments to accept whenever they want to pay, rather than you being proactive to have them pay sooner or prune your customer list. Why would a buyer want to buy that list of customers knowing that they would have to hold out on collecting them for a while? You do not have a cash flow statement every month. Buyers are really interested in buying businesses that for the cash that they throw off, the more the better. Another is, besides the financial statements themselves, your gross income from the sale of your products may have wild fluctuations, which impact your bottom line from really positive to not very good. This creates a lot of issues for a buyer when buying and can result in the offer that the buyer makes being much lower. So what can you do to even this out, all this up and down? One thing is to have 3 to 5 year horizon to correct the situation. Don't rush into selling. One idea may be to approach your best, most regular customers and entice them to enter into long-term contracts. If you can lock them in for a period of 3 to 5 years, a buyer will pay more for a business that has this since they can count on that income over that time frame. Even if you cannot get all of your customers to a 3 to 5 year contract, can you do a supply contract where you supply their needs for 1 year with a renewal provision in it, or for 6 months? That's going to put you in a better stead. How often do the customers buy? Can you increase the number of times that your good customers buy by selling them a complimentary product that you have in your offering? Doing a form of just-in-time delivery where they buy a larger amount, but you offer to store some of that product for them for later delivery. The bottom line is that you need to take the time to show a sales line that is increasing rather than wildly fluctuating. Having all of your systems and processes written down is important to a buyer who will generally pay more for a business with this in it. While it is possible that you will have a bigger fish buying you with their own systems and processes, generally, even that buyer will keep your entity intact with their own processes for a period of time after the sale. The buyer then is going to not want to reinvent everything with their new management that they may put into it. Another is each area of your business should have these documented, from sales to customer service to cash flow to accounts receivable. Many businesses will have these all together in a binder or disseminate them among all of the various parts of the businesses and the team where they apply. There are some businesses that will make the systems and the processes into training type videos that can be used to hire and train new people that come into the business. You should be one of those. Or to use them as a refresher for their department and going forward. These systems and processes may be changed from time to time as may become necessary. Another thing is that sometimes is overlooked is the question of sustainability. What I mean by this is you have a team built into your business that it could survive without you even being there for a couple of months at a time. You may be the owner, but you don't want to be everything to everybody in that business. You don't want to be the COO, you don't want to be the CFO, you don't want to be the plant manager, the head of HR, or the sales manager, all combined into one. You know, you have to be able to take a vacation. So if you have too many hats, that means that the buyer must get everything that's in your head out of your head in order to go forward. Otherwise, as the saying goes, when you sell, you've just bought yourself a job, because they're going to need to know what you know in your head. So it's best to have these items covered by someone else. So pick the most important jobs to hire first, such as a COO, a plant manager, a sales manager, and make sure you get the right hire for each job. You will need to make sure that each fits into your culture and your vision long term. You may be able to use different people in the virtual field for the short term. One thing that is often overlooked is, do you have product development pipeline that's unique or could allow your business to leapfrog over your competition? If so, you may want to build these products out, get them tested, get them trademarked or copyrighted or patented, and then you may want to hire someone to determine the potential for that product. Why do you do this? One reason is that when you negotiate it with a seller, you may want to protect the upside of that product. What would it earn in going forward? Remember, your financial statements don't include any of those sales from that new product, but you have already included those costs in development in those financial statements. Having this unique offering makes your company more desirable for potential buyers and makes your price go up. It may allow you to get a royalty interest of some sort going forward. That would be additional cash in your pocket. So, what is the bottom line for maximizing what you get out of your business? The thing is, you got to plan early. Give yourself 3 to 5 years before you put your business on the market. Get your financial house in order. Have a great CPA who will help you to clean up the financial statements, set the proper collections policies in place, and revise your financial statements so that they make sense to a buyer. And then work on maximizing your sales and making them steadily increase over the 3 to 5 years before you put the business on the market. Try to get the long-term contracts from your customers to build more consistent value in the business. Then document your systems and processes in the business. Train your team to know what these are and to follow them. Encourage their participation in tweaking these wherever it's warranted. Then hire the right team and replace yourself from jobs that you should no longer be doing. Hire and train a great COO, a great plant manager and sales manager, and if possible, a CFO and an HR director, or use virtual talent for these positions. It's important that you, as the owner, stay in your lane, concentrating on higher margin customer opportunities and watching over the management of the business. Remember to develop those products that will allow you to leapfrog over your competition and to increase the sales price of the business in that 3 to 5 year period, and maybe give you an ongoing royalty going forward. Why do you do all of this? Of course, it's to not leave any extra money on the table. That's your business. You probably spent your whole life building your largest asset, and why leave that money for someone else when you should be taking that home as a result of all your hard work? So I hope you learned something from this, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.